And welcome back. 14 minutes before 1 o'clock, breaking news concerning the governor's budget repair bill. Republican Senator Alberta Darling just told News Radio 620 WTMJ that all the Democrats from the state Senate got on the same bus and have left the state.
And we're investigating this claim and, in fact, finding out this latest information recently as she had that conversation with News Radio 620 WTMJ. And, you know, we're trying to gather as much information from inside the Capitol and out as you look at thousands of people right now at the Capitol steps still protesting. And whatever you see outside, it's even more jam-packed on the inside of the Capitol as well.
And that's not the first, that's the first official source I've seen reporting that information, that coming from Senator Alberta Darling, of course, the Republican in the state Senate. That's the first official source I've seen reporting that. However, there have been a couple of messages on Twitter from folks there in the Capitol indicating as much that the Senate Democrats had, in fact, left the state.
Let's bring in John Recur. And John, if you can kind of tell us what happened back there in radio, this interesting phone call from Senator Darling.
You know, amazing stuff. I called the senator and I got her on her cell phone, and she was actually standing in the Senate chamber. And she said, I'm standing here. There are no Democrats. There are people crowding in all around. And then she told me, she said, you know, the Democrats, I've just confirmed, all the Senate Democrats, all of them, got on a bus and they've headed out of state. And I said, well, what happens next? Doesn't the State Patrol have jurisdiction to try to bring them back into session? And she said they do. They were trying to catch them, but once they cross the state lines, they can't do anything.
Really? Because we were discussing that during the break. Is there any way you can involve other law enforcement in other states in this, or this is just kind of our problem?
According to Senator Darling, she says that there's not. It wouldn't be a high enough priority for any other jurisdiction. The other thing I asked her was, you know, I confirmed several times, so you know that they're all out of state. She said, yeah, they all got on a bus together, like a road trip is what she said. And they headed out of state. This happened in Texas also when they were having legislative issues down there. And she also said, interestingly enough, that she has sent all of her staff home because she's concerned about their safety.
Wow.
I know you've been reporting on how tense things are there in Madison and how they're escalating. She has sent everyone home except for her chief of staff. And she, the chair of the Joint Finance Committee, standing in the Senate chamber on her cell phone, trying to find any little sanctuary where there aren't people crowding in.
And let's talk one more time, if folks are just joining us and getting into this development, why it's so significant that the Senate Democrats have left the state. To have a quorum, John, to do business in the state Senate, you need a majority, which the Republicans do have. In order to pass this type of fiscal legislation, you need a 2/3 majority, and the Republicans are 3/5 rather, and the Republicans are one person short.
That's exactly right. They have 19. They need 20 members, so they need one Democrat. And if we're to understand this correctly, every single one of those Democrats is on a bus headed out of state. We don't know where. We don't know when they'll be back. She predicted, the senator, that they won't be back this week, that they are gone. They've crossed the state border. We don't know where they are. I mean, this is crazy. It's just crazy.
It's definitely something we haven't seen here. This is just something that's
unprecedented.
completely unprecedented. All right.
John Mercure from News Radio 620 WTMJ.